Watch the game. Watch the game. Watch the game. I'm your man, L.A. Cheatham.
What's up? It's Benjamin Banneker. What's going on, good peoples?
Hey, it's that time of the year, man.
Best time of
I
the
know we like to talk. We like to call it the most wonderful time of the year,
year.
but I'm looking forward to the NBA to kind of see what this in-game tournament thing is all about.
I forgot all about that.
Well, I'm gonna hold my statements on the most wonderful time of the year because that might catch me by surprise. But thanks for joining us tonight. Watch the game. We're gonna be going through some changes, so I got to get used to just saying watch the game. As for right now, you guys will find out about the changes we're gonna be making soon. But watch the game. You got us, and just a little small talk. We know the biggest thing going on is NFL football. That's why we here tonight. That's why we here tonight. Big game in Kansas City last night, Penn. And before we get into that, uh, most people have probably either at school, at work, but Team USA goes down to Germany in the semifinal round of the World Cup. Now those games at our come on in our time it come on like 7:30 Central Time. We're in the Central Time zone.
AM, yeah.
Central 7:30 a.m. Central Time. So I was up pretty late last night. I set the DVR to record this game and didn't have to work last night. And by the grace, I woke up in time to catch the game. I was able to watch it all the way through. And oh boy, so many people say that we didn't send our best guys over there.
We
And
didn't.
I understand maybe we did. But I think that team was talented enough to the point where had they put some structure on the floor on the defensive end and the offensive end, they still could have won gold in this World Cup. But it seems to me that Team USA went out and played a lot of one-on-one basketball. And when you play one-on-one basketball, the only way you can make up for not having a lot of structure on offense is you got to be really, really good on the defensive end, and you damn sure got to rebound the basketball. And they did pretty much either one. So that kind of it kind of got me, man. I'm kind of touched behind this because I feel kind of offended. The game was invented in the United States. Dr. James Naismith might be proud of the global impact of the game, and I think Dr. James Naismith he might have been from Canada. I'm not
He
sure.
is, yeah, yeah. He Canadian.
With that being said, Team Canada lost as well. Uh, Germany was undefeated. So Germany was one of the teams. They came into this game 6-0. So they advanced to the gold medal round. I forget who it was Canada lost to, but I guess you can consider those two upsets. Just a damn shame. But that's not why we here tonight. Unless you got something else to put on, man, with that. I was just so disappointed, man. I'm just so disappointed at the state of American basketball.
It's like you said, we didn't, one, we didn't send our best. Two, these, I guess, mid level guys, it shows you the talent gap. Like it's really, really close. It's really, really close when you get to playing some of these upper echelon countries in the FIBA. And I'm not one that watches the FIBA basketball, especially if it's, we sending our JV team over there. That's not nothing I'm gonna take time out my day to even watch the highlights on because this is what I expect. Like when I remember me, Sean, shout out Dale, Carter, Pac-Man. We on the group text, and when they announced who was on the team, we was like, man, we don't even know a lot of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
we pretty. I don't want to say we avid NBA watchers like we used to be growing up, but it's still like we should know. We should be sending all stars over there at least. And I don't think some of these guys they were sending over there was all stars. So what do you expect?
I think they sent over a team of up and coming players that's gaining popularity. And with the selection of the team itself, I have to think if is this an all Nike endorsed team? Because
No,
if
because
so,
Anthony Edwards is an Adidas guy.
okay, all right. So if okay, so at least that takes away my train of thought of thinking that they trying to go with this shoe shoe deal thing and just put together the best team that's under the Nike brand. So if that's true, that eliminates that theory. But when you got guys out there like the Austin Reeves, a popular guy, gaining popularity last season. Uh, Kid from Indianapolis from the
Tyrese
Pacers,
Halliburton.
Halliburton,
Yeah.
up and coming ball player. Jalen Brunson. And I'm down with Jalen Brunson being on this team because if it's any guy, any young man on this team that was worthy of being on this team based on structure and team concept, coachability, it's Jalen Brunson. The reason why I say this is because Jalen Brunson, believe he played 4 years at Villanova, so I had faith in him playing, but he wasn't even on the court at the end of this game. A lot of one-on-one basketball, poor defense and poor rebound. And I don't give a damn if you take your best. If you don't rebound the basketball, if you're gonna play poor defense, you're gonna be in a lot of games. You're gonna be in a lot of dog fights you really shouldn't be in, regardless to how much talent you got. You got to have some type of structure. I'm willing to bet, and then we can move on. But I'm willing to bet that Steve Kerr, they might be playing for bronze uh, in the next game. They're gonna play for a medal. But I'm willing to bet when it comes time for Olympics, this team probably wrecked Steve Kerr's brain so much to the point where he probably will not coach this team in the Olympics. No matter matter of fact, if he is, it's gonna be some changes to this roster. It's got
That's
to
what I
be.
was about. That's what I was about to say. The roster would be revamped. I don't know if you watched the Redeem Team documentary on Netflix. How that roster went through a few iterations before they got to the team that actually went and won in 2000. That was 2008. It went through a few different phases. So I'm thinking this team is going to be the same type of deal. They're going to see like, okay, we ain't got no pros presence, or we need more shooting, or we need because I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm like, has Steph ever played in the Olympics? I don't think he has, right? I mean, I know he's 35 now, but you would think
I'm not sure. I would like to think he's played on at least one team. Maybe not in the Olympics. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he's played with Team USA at some point. But normally, like I say, we don't really get up for the World Cup. The Olympics is the big deal. But with me being all coachy, I want to win at all costs in any situation. It don't matter what's at stake. So the CT Team USA go out in that fashion. No low post presence. They had Jaron Jackson Jr. and Bobby Portis, and I forget the other kid's name that came off the bench. I don't want to mess his name up, so I'm not going to even attempt. But they didn't have a really good low post presence. And when you look at the rest of the teams, they were interchangeable. They had purpose players. This guy is a post up guy. This guy's the point guard. They were running with structure. Is pretty much what I'm saying. Dennis Schroeder ran the German team today
mm-hmm.
like a point guard. He ran that team. He hit big shots. He played with a purpose. They played with structure. And at the end of the game, they did what every other team was. The scouting report is attack Austin Reeves, and that's exactly what they did. They attack Austin Reeves when they need a bucket. Is Austin on the field on the floor? Give it to whoever he's guarding. Get him down on the block, post him up, put it in the bucket, and
Do,
then we celebrated damn near on every basket.
do you think Austin Reeves is someone they can keep on this team going to the Olympics?
I'm gonna put it to you this way. I'm gonna do you even one better. This is why I say Steve Kerr probably had a headache coaching this team because I could have coached that team. I could have figured out a way to get Austin Reeves shots. I've seen enough Austin Reeves to know that if I can get him coming off a couple pin downs or screens, get him in a couple pick and roll situations, we can run basic motion offense and Austin Reeves can score 10 points.
Yeah, and he had 21 today.
Yeah, so what I'm telling you is there was opportunity to run. They didn't run any offense. Any offense. It was just who had the ball. They ran some simple pick and roll, and they just whoever caught the first pass was shooting it. One-on-one basketball, most of the time will get you beat. And I think we're gonna let that be that. We're gonna let that be that. We're gonna let that be that.
Yeah,
So
I wasn't even gonna jump in on that one.
okay, so I think we got our point across. I know I had to get that off my chest. Watch the game. Thanks for joining us. Subscribe to the channel. Watch the game. WTG podcast, which we're gonna be changing it soon. So if you subscribe now, we won't lose you later. We're gonna go through some slight name changes soon, but watch the game. We'll be consistent. Okay, but this is why you're here. Last night they kicked it off in Kansas City.
Yep.
The Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs. And I came away from that game with so much to think about and so much to say. And for all of those that want to say that this is a make it or break it season for Justin Fields, I want to think that Patrick Mahomes got a taste of what it feels like to be just like any other quarterback.
last night.
Most quarterbacks in the NFL. A year ago, they plucked away uh Tariq Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we can do it. They won the Super Bowl. Did a great job. Did a great job. Great job. Win the Super Bowl. No Tariq Hill. Travis Kelsey, Patrick Mahomes. That's the hookup.
Right.
Well, take Travis Kelsey off the team. The team.
The team.
Team. Patrick Mahomes. He kind of balances it out. Now, they didn't lose this game because of Patrick Mahomes. They absolutely did not. Patrick Mahomes did everything he possibly could to win that game. You had some key drops and one key bobble that ended up in the player of the game's hand, Brian
Right.
Branch. That's right, damn it. Brian Branch was the player of this game last night. So before you want to go out talking about Jared Goff, he was steady, cool under pressure. He didn't turn the ball over. I had him down for 2 picks. He didn't get the 2 picks. They did have a fumble,
Right.
but it wasn't on Jared Goff. Jared Goff looked good last night. So did David Montgomery with the number 5. He didn't wear the 32. That was the player of the game. He wore 32. Brian Branch. I'm gonna say Brian Branch again. I'm gonna say his name again. Brian Branch. For all the Patrick Mahomes and Jared Goff, this guy going against this guy. No, it was one team against the other team, and the biggest player of the game was Brian Branch.
And
I
even
think he's
Debo
from
had a touchdown.
Alabama, right? Yeah,
Brand, I don't know where
pick
he's
six,
from.
pick
Yeah.
six. I think he's from Alabama.
Let's see. Let's
And
see.
21-20 was the final score. But since you stat heads want to hear some stats, let me run them by you. All right, 21-20 was the final score. So we got Jared Goff, 22 for 35, 253 yards, a touchdown. Okay, all right.
Solid,
It
solid.
come from behind and come from behind fashion. Going into this game, I really want to see what David Montgomery, how he looked in that offense. The offensive line was supposed to be one of the best offensive lines in the National Football League. David Montgomery, 21 carries for 74 yards, scored the go-ahead touchdown. They put him in position to win the game. Okay. All right. So then you don't forget now, us Bear fans, we don't forget
Right.
Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy was supposed to be calling plays last night. Darius Tony
One
dropped a
catch.
couple passes, bobbled a pass that ended up being the pick six, which was pretty much the difference. Well, yeah. Okay, yeah. The difference in the game was the pick six.
Right. Because
Because
you don't have that, it's 20-14.
yeah, yeah. So that's why it's a player of the game for me. I'm not giving it to either one of the quarterbacks. Because
Yeah.
that's what the typical fan will do. But watch the game, that ain't what we doing. Okay? Shout out to the coach or the coachess that went through the tip drill with Brian Branch
From Bama.
from Alabama. So somebody taught that kid the tip drill, and he went in for pick six last night. Always be around the football. He did that. He put it, he caught it and he took it in for pick six. Biggest player of the game, my player of the game, Brian Branch for
Brian
Patrick
Branch.
Mahomes and Jared Goff. But
But that wasn't on Patrick Mahomes though.
it
That's,
wasn't on Patrick. It
yeah,
wasn't. That's what I said. It was
yeah.
a Kadarius Tony bobble, and it went up, and Brian Branch executed the tip drill perfectly and took it into the end zone.
Now
Player of the game.
let me ask you this: if Kadarius Tony plays to his normal standard, because by all accounts, he had a bad game yesterday. Like he had a bad game. If he plays just his normal Kadarius Tony game, is that outcome different from last night?
Hell yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, because he catches the ball. Now I'm not gonna let what's the other guy? The other one of the kids,
Scott Moore, he dropped one
Sky
too.
Moore.
Yeah,
He had a big drop in the game. I'm not gonna let him off the hook. But okay, if he catch those passes, I mean it's typical. It's typical Patrick Mahomes. It's typical Chiefs.
So the question is, did Patrick Mahomes really find out what it's like to be every other quarterback in the league last night because he didn't have Travis Kelce? Or can we really just chalk this up to Kadarius Tony had a bad game and that's why he lost?
You're right. Kadarius Tony had a bad game, and that's why he lost. But the reason why I brought up Matt Nagy is because it was a lot of confusion as to whether or not when he was the offensive coordinator in Kansas City the first time before he came to Chicago,
Right, right,
whether or not he was calling plays or not. When they
right.
blew it against the Tennessee Titans. And then a week later, the Bears hired him in to be the head coach.
Yeah,
They didn't want to run the football. That was his criticism. He
yeah.
didn't want to run the football in Chicago. That was another one of his criticisms. Then he wanted to delegate every other week who was calling the plays. Well, last
Oh,
night
what's our boy
he
name?
I forget the guy's name.
Yeah,
The old
yeah,
coordinator, I forget his name.
yeah,
Don't even. I mean, I apologize for even bringing it up.
yeah.
But I got to get through the story. So here we go. So I'm watching this game. Kansas City, the middle of the fourth quarter. They marching down the field. It's third and short. Third and short. Third and pretty much less than a yard.
Be
They
specific.
ran. They ran a trick play. They did some funky with the snap and the handoff. I can't even remember it. And at that moment, it dawned on me: Matt Nagy is calling the plays. Interesting stat for the stat heads. Okay, so we're gonna look at Patrick Mahomes. He was 21 for 39, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the biggest play of the game, which was the pick six
by Brian Branch.
by Brian Branch, number 32 in your program for the Detroit Lions by way of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Okay, so Pat, 21 to 39 for 226 yards. Okay, but this is the thing. No Travis Kelce on the offensive end. No Chris Jones on the defensive end. So Detroit get out of there. They did what they were supposed to do. They beat a team in limbo. And they did it on the national stage. They did what they were supposed to do.
Right.
They did what a lot of people have picked them to do, which would be better this season. They did not Detroit last night.
They did in Detroit.
They did not Detroit last night. So Uncle Hen, if you're watching us tonight, you want to know. I think the Bears get the Lions in week 11, and then I think they get
And
them
then
in
13.
again. Yeah, in week 13 or 14. I can't
Yeah.
remember exactly, but I know week 11 is the first week that the Bears will get the Detroit Lions. So I'm not gonna make any predictions. I had a guy ask me today when I was telling him about the podcast. He say, "What kind of how many games you think they're gonna win? What about week to week predictions?" I thought, I don't like to get off into that. I'm real coachy. I look at it like coaches look at it. So I got too much respect for the game itself and the nature of the game. When you talk about injuries, I don't want to go week by week picking games because 11 weeks from now or 10 weeks from now, whatever,
Yeah.
you don't know who's going to be on the field due
Right.
to the nature of the game. So I got too much respect for the game to call it out like that. So I don't get off into it like that. We're going to watch the game that's played each individual week and we're going to match up for the next week. All right. And now feel free to, I know I'm taking the show
Oh,
over.
go,
Don't,
go, go ahead. Go, go,
I,
go.
I'm taking it over. Look here. I feel like a preacher in the pulpit sometimes when I do this, but we're talking about the Chicago Bears, and I get real passionate about my Bears. And I watch a lot of the Chicago media, listen to a lot of sports talk radio. Everybody talking about the make it or break it season for Justin Fields, and they worried about who ain't at practice and all this crap. But this is the week. This is the week.
Mm-hmm.
It all kicks off this week.
Mm-hmm.
It all kicks off this week. So, before I go out with any predictions week by week, everybody got the matchups. Uh, Love against Fields. Love against Fields. Packers, Bears. Some of the players saying it's just another game. Well, damn it, it ain't. It's not just another game.
No, I've heard it's Packers. It's still the Packers.
It's a national football conference North Division football game.
Game of the week.
Yeah, that big what's it? What's that time slot they call it?
That's
325. Is that the game of the
that's
week for?
America's Game of the Week on Fox. That's what
Okay,
it's called.
okay. So it's that big of a game
Yeah.
to the fans. Don't you
I,
dare.
I'm just mad we gotta wait because we like our Bears at 12 o'clock. I'm just mad we gotta wait till 3 o'clock.
Well, we gonna get off into that too, cause just like last night's game was entertaining, we're gonna have to find something to do with ourselves at that noontime slot. And I'm pretty sure we're not gonna have a problem doing it with the first week of football being played in the National Football League. We're not gonna have a hard time. Trust me, there's gonna be something that's gonna keep you going until
Yeah.
until kickoff at 3 o'clock. But this is not just another game. This is the National Football Conference North game. Okay. Ryan Poles at his opening press conference says we're going to take the North and we're never going to get it back.
Here's your
This
chance.
weekend at 3:25 Central Standard Time at Soldier Field, the process of taking the North continues. This is not just another game, people. This is Bears Packers National Football Conference. This is the National Football Conference North Division.
NFC North for the Lapers.
No, no, no. And okay, abbreviate it if you want to. But I'm coming from the Ric Flair. I'm doing it like Rick. Rick would always say he was the world's heavyweight wrestling champion. So I'm trying to be a little bougie with it.
Okay, all right.
So it's the Northern Football Conference.
National
The
Football
National
Conference.
Football Conference. North Division.
Yeah.
It's more than just another game. So, and Justin Fields will not be playing for all you people that want to compare the two. He will not be playing against Love. Justin Fields will not be playing. He will be playing against the Green Bay Packers defense, which is not very good against the run, according to last year's statistics. So we should be running the damn football. Just figure out a way to win. But then you got Love, that he has just as much to prove as Justin Fields. He's got his fourth season.
Fourth year. Yeah.
This is Justin's third season.
Yep.
So do you even? I mean, yeah, we can count the 1 year he spent with Matt Nagy, but does it really count?
The reason it counts, I'm saying it counts, is because he got on the field. He got NFL experience during that time. His coach was not putting him in positions to win or to be successful all the time, but he still has NFL game experience. We still count that. So Justin got how many starts on his belt? Let's just say 20 to 25. I feel
something like that.
I feel more comfortable going into that game with Justin having that amount of starts versus Jordan Love having what, 2?
Yes, 2 to my knowledge, because I remember he had one start against the Chiefs.
Yep.
I don't remember any other start other than that. And everybody talking about he's looking good in the exhibition games. Okay. Chicago fans need to set their goals a little higher than just having a franchise quarterback. So before we go out with the predictions, let's take care of the National Football Conference North Division. Let's take care of that first. And the way you do that is by starting off by beating the Green Bay Packers. And you got to beat them now to make a point, because you don't play them again until the end of the season.
And even
that's how big this game is.
And even too for the psyche. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
We know Aaron Rodgers. He owns us. We know that. But here's a chance for the page to finally be turned and it can be back on equal footing. And we can really see, okay, it's a new era. Who really about to run this thing for the foreseeable future? So, yeah, it's a big game. You need to go out here. And it's at the crib. I don't care if we at Bears, Illinois. It's a mistake by the lake. You are wearing the home uniforms. Predominantly, your fans will be there. I know the Packers fans travel well. This is a home game. You got to take care of your business at home.
Yeah, so that's why I say this is not just another game. It's not to us, and for all those people that's like us, they got to wait till 3:25 for it to kick off. It couldn't start fast enough. So, but in order for the Bears to win, they must be able to run the football and stop the run and play good, fundamentally sound football and keep the turnovers to them.
2 to 3 big plays. I think that's the recipe for winning. I think as a fan base, I think if we could see DJ Moore do something to contribute to the win, we want to see Justin give us a flash of last year. He still got his wheels. He's still running, but we also want to see, he can he's reading the defense. He's dissecting it now. His ball placement was good. His percentage was up. I was in the studio last night. My engineer was saying he's wanting to see 3 300-yard passing games out of Justin this year. He don't care when they come, but that's something he's looking for. I'm not necessarily hung up on that, even though I'm an air it out type of guy. I just want Justin to put the noise to bed. This is my team. It ain't no more questions about it. I want everybody to universally rally behind Justin so we can go ahead and start worrying about when we're gonna be planning our Super Bowl party. That's what I want this fan base to be.
Well, you know I'm a Bo Schembechler type of guy.
The team, the team, the
It's all
team.
about the team.
But you gotta have a
Figure
quarterback.
out a way to win.
Yeah.
You
You
most
gotta have a
definitely do.
team, but you gotta have a
You
quarterback.
most definitely do.
Yeah.
But last night, when I watched the Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions, it just proved me why Bill Belichick is the best football coach in the NFL.
Because he had Tom Brady.
Because yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to have a quarterback. But even
Yeah.
when you have a quarterback, you still have to put him in a position to succeed. And what I mean by that is, if you take Travis Kelsey away, you can't put all the pressure on Patrick Mahomes. So if Travis Kelsey's not there, what I would do is beef up on the run game. And they did not do that. And that's why they lost.
Seems like the run game, what they ran the ball, 15 times or something like that when I was looking at the stat? Probably a little bit more than that. Probably a little bit more. I was just looking at the stats. Hold on, let me just put them right back up if I can get to it quick. But I wanted to just, because I know you're a big run game guy, and I wanted to, Pacheco had like
Yes,
8
exactly.
carries. Is it coming up right here? So Pacheco, 8 carries, 23 yards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 6 carries, 22 yards. Sky Moore, 1 carry, 4 yards. So we at 15 carries from now. We ain't counting Patrick Mahomes 6 because there was some scrambles. So we had 15. Kadarius Toney had a carry at 16. Rashee Rice had a carry, 17. 17 carries.
Yeah. For a total of what?
23,
90
22.
yards? 90
Are you
yards
are
rushing?
are you counting Patrick Mahomes 45 that he put in there? Because I'm
Yeah,
just
because
talking.
I'm looking at the stat line point
Yeah,
blank. I'm looking at the team stat line. The rushing, like Patrick Mahomes was 6 for 20, 6 for 45 rushing. So they never really committed to the run, and they were winning this game by at least a touchdown. Okay, but he
but
never put Pat. He put the pressure. Whoever was calling the plays, Matt
Nagy,
Nagy or
Nagy.
whoever, they put all the pressure on Mahomes after all the bad luck, all the drops, till he eventually threw a batted tip pick six. They never committed to the run game. And that's what I'm saying. No matter how you win, no matter how the Bears go out there and beat the Packers, find a way to beat the Packers. That's what Bill Belichick did.
Yeah,
Okay, if you take Gronk away from Tom Brady, he's going to load up on the running game. There's only one Gronk. There's only one Kelsey. You can't reinvent those guys in 1 week. So you got
right,
to find another way to beat and win the game and just get to the next week. But they put the pressure on Mahomes, and he played well enough to win. He didn't get the best support from his receivers, but he made the plays available to them, and they didn't make them.
right, right. And
But they've never made the adjustment to say that's not our night. Let's commit and power up to the run game. I forget the kid's name from LSU.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, you got a tailback. You beef it up, and then you got Pacheco. They had the pieces, but they didn't commit. They didn't commit. They did not commit to their strengths, and they didn't do a bad job running the football when they decided to do so. They just didn't do it enough. Matt Nagy, typical Matt Nagy.
Mm-hmm.
So Justin Fields, the game plan has to. They're going to go out there with a game plan. You know, they're going to probably script the first 15 plays like any typical team. Okay, but what happens when we get off script? Let's say we get up, the script grows so well, we get up 2 touchdowns. So then what you do? Do you eat the clock up? Do you win the war in the trenches? Or do you kind of try and go out there and just
Not lose the
embarrass
game.
and then end up turning the ball over? See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The game plan changes at some point in time, regardless to what the game plan is. Where will the adjustments be? So just win the game. We'll take care of all the stats later on.
Right, right.
We'll
Yeah.
take all the stats later on because Brian Branch made the biggest play of the game last night,
And I'm sure
and that don't, yeah,
they
and that
didn't
don't
game plan
necessarily
for him.
that you can't game plan for that. All
Yeah.
you got to do is be ready to take advantage of the opportunities, and that's what he did.
Yep.
And that's why we saying his name 100 times tonight
Brian
because we
Branch.
watched the game. I watched the game. And Brian Branch was the player of the game last night. You can talk about Patrick Mahomes. You can talk about
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. There's only one guy that can go out there and play quarterback. He did his job. Jared Goff did his job. He got the win. They finished the game strong. They pounded in. They pounded it. David Montgomery looked good.
Hmm.
21 for 75. Look
With a
good in
tub.
number 5. Look
Yeah,
good in number
I,
5.
I like him in number 5. I hate that he's
Look,
the Lions, but yeah,
yeah.
I would
Look,
hate to see him outside the division, but he looked good with that 5.
look real good last night in number 5. Ran hard. Typical David Montgomery. You know, felt a little strange to see him out there in the Detroit Lions uniform, but he played well. And
That's something to keep an
uh
eye on. Are we gonna miss him? But keep going. Yeah.
yeah, well, it starts Sunday. It
And-
starts Sunday. And I thought about that. I thought about that. Now he didn't have a great night last night. He had a very efficient night. 21 for 75 ain't bad. But you know, like I know, the more you give David Montgomery touches, the better he gets after the 18th to 19th touch. You get that man 25 touches, that means he rolling. He rolling.
Right. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
rolling. By that 25th touch, he gonna be over 100 yards. Okay. Damn good tailback. I hated to lose him, but hey, nevertheless, we lost him. He playing for Uncle Hen in Detroit now, so Uncle Hen will get a chance to enjoy David Montgomery every week. So enjoy Uncle Hen and go blue, and enjoy Uncle Hen. But I'm gonna go to the other side of the ball. We talked about the offense. Let's talk about two guys on offense that has missed a lot of practice since everybody was so concerned about practice. Like they really, there's a strategy for exhibition football, for
Hmm.
training camp football,
Hmm.
and it's not to get injured, not to
Exactly.
get injured, and to figure out who makes the bottom of the roster. Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool, we didn't see him in not one exhibition game.
But
Nate Davis.
he played at what was that, the Soldier Field Day? That's the only time we really saw him, right?
Yeah, but that's practice.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm talking about exhibition, the games. He didn't play in any of those.
Right.
Um, Pretty much got shut down after the Fan Fest, and excuse me, but that's one guy. They say he's healthy. What element does he bring along with DJ Moore? And then Nate Davis, newly signed offensive lineman. I think he came from the Titans. Oh, the Chicago media has eaten him up for missing practice. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got all the answers. Everybody know what's best for Nate Davis. And all I could do was say, I hope he come out and kick ass. Because these people don't know what the hell they talking about. You know?
Right.
And
Right.
that's my angle. That's my angle. I'm not a homer, but the more and more I heard them criticizing this guy, the more and more I was rooting for him. We don't know why this man is missing practice. Could have been injury, could have been personal. Okay. No matter what the reason is. When it comes Packers Bears week 1, then we got time to be concerned about missing games and missing practice.
Right.
Because
Right.
like Allen Iverson said, it's practice.
Not a game.
It's not the game, it's practice.
Right. Right.
So those are two guys that I want to say in week 1. What kind of impact would Chase Claypool have with his limited impact in the exhibition season? And Nate Davis. And then they figured out a way to keep Velus Jones on this team. He still has a lot to prove. They pretty much hid us. They hid Velus Jones away from us
Oh yeah,
after
Velvet.
he went out. Yeah, they didn't want us to see him anymore.
Yeah,
They
I
they
know.
told us he had a good practice against the Colts in the intra squad scrimmage. All we can do is take their word from it. But guess what? Game on now.
Oh, he got to put it on the
Yeah,
field. He
yeah,
got to put
game
it on
on
the
now.
field. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he made the team. A lot of people wondering why. It's because he was a third round pick. It's
Hmm.
because he was a third round pick.
Didn't
Okay,
want to
and
give
then
up
they
on him. Yeah.
and then they cut my man that had a hell of a pre-exhibition season. Travis Gibson. I think he ended up getting picked up by the Titans. So he's still eating in the league. But a lot of people were confused about why he didn't make the team. Okay, so this is the first sign of Ryan Poles that I've seen that seems a little political. Okay, but Ryan, you said you wanted to take the North. Based on those two decisions, I wonder about you now, Ryan. Do you really want to take the North? Okay, we'll see
Right.
on Sunday. We'll
Yeah.
see on Sunday.
Like all GMs, he wanna take the North and he wanna take the division with his guys. With his
Okay,
guys. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, he gonna have his chance. He
Yeah.
gonna have his chance. Okay, but find a way to win. I would take. I don't give a damn if Justin Fields don't throw for one touchdown. If they win the game 9-6, it's gonna be ugly. But the
But you
number
taking
one
it.
thing, the most important thing is to get the win. Okay, that's it for me. But they got to be able to run the football. They got to be able to stop the
Stop the
run,
run.
and the offense has to be balanced enough for Justin to be able to say, now it's time to take these shots when the defense presents them the opportunity to do so. And that's why I want to see most of the improvement when you talk about Justin Fields. How is he seeing the field? We know about all the arm talent. He seems to struggle with the medium range, intermittent passing, but can he determine what the defense is doing? This is one of the biggest, all the MVP stuff. Ah, okay, that's cool. But I just want to see growth in that area. Patience in the pocket. The offensive line give him time where he can pick things apart and find the right progression. That's all I want to see from Justin. And then we can evaluate at the end of the season. I want to see that type of production. I don't think Justin want to run as much this season as well.
And I understand the thinking. I understand that logic, but I don't want that to be on the forefront of his mind. I want him to go out there and play football. If it requires him running to make a play to keep us on the field to win the game, do it. Do it. I hate when it's always this point in quote unquote running quarterback's career or dual threat quarterback's career. And I don't really consider Justin a dual threat quarterback because I saw him at Ohio State last year, came out and I can do this too. But I hate that it's just such a narrative pushed down their throats. Like, okay, now you got to be in the pocket and you got to read and you don't want to take too many hits because you can't play like that forever. Yeah, I can't play like that forever, but I can play like that right now.
Yeah. You just want him to get better in the process of winning.
Yeah.
Find a way to win, learn from your experiences. Well, each game, each year, you get better. And that's what I want. I just want to see him get better each game, each year, as long as he's in Chicago. I don't need him to be the MVP of the league right now. They always want to talk about this whole Jalen Hurts comparison. Well, Jalen Hurts had the best offensive line, probably the best offensive line in football, probably had the best defense in football. And by the way, they didn't have many injuries. Okay. So that's Lady Luck being on your side with talent. That's the same situation the Bears had 2018. They
Until
had
the double doink.
well, they were healthy. They were healthy. And the signs were there. We knew that the kicker wasn't any good all season long. So that's what did him in. But from a standpoint of health, which is so it's so critical and valuable in any sport you play, but even more so in the NFL because of the nature of the game. But the Bears were really, really healthy that season. And the defense was really good. Probably the best in the league. The problem is Cody Parkey did us in. And Cody Parker had been doing his end all season. They never corrected that problem. And it's crazy how those things come to haunt you in the end. The
Yeah.
problems, you don't fix this and you don't fix that. I don't care if it's a faulty air conditioner. If that's a bad part, it's going to break down. If you
Mm-hmm.
got a bad part, it's going to break down. And it's crazy how that season came down to that moment. So when you talk about, we talked about this before. You take Justin and put him on that team. That team scores more than 14 points.
Right. I
You
believe
take
so too.
Justin, you take Justin and put him on the 2006 football team that went to the Super Bowl. Based on what we've seen, Justin Fields is worth 14 points alone by himself. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's
Mm-hmm.
shown this. He's shown this. And for all of those people that's so critical, and this is his make it or break it season, Justin Fields, in his short span of work, in his short body of work, is probably one of the most exciting football players to ever play for the Chicago Bears offensively with the football in his hand. Let me run a few names by you, and you probably won't disagree. Gale Sayers.
Okay, that's before my time, but yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but what I'm saying
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
if you look at Gale Sayers' highlights, it was must see TV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Walter Payton,
Yep.
phenomenal with the football in their hand. Both of them. Devin Hester.
Yep. Even though he was more special teams, but yeah, when he
Yeah,
got
but
it,
what I'm saying is, you put the ball in his hands,
yeah.
special things happen. It
Mm-hmm.
was must see TV. Look, how many times did you get up and go to the restroom or go to the kitchen to get a glass of Kool-Aid when Devin was about to receive a punt
Oh
or a
no,
kickoff?
not never.
You had to be there to see it.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl proved it. The opening kickoff, must see TV. And
Yep.
then there's Justin Fields. Must see TV. But this is a make it break it season for Justin. The
This
most
is
exciting, the most exciting player on the team. Green Bay wish they had Justin Fields.
oh no, it's a lot of franchises that wish they had Justin Fields.
Okay.
And
So let's get up. Let's just find a way to beat the Packers and take the North. All the 11-5 and or whatever, the 11-6 or 12-5, whatever. What damn all that? Let's just take the North. Let's just take the
even,
North
even
and
if
let
we
everything
win
else.
9 games, just win the
That's
division.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because you got that's 6 games right there, if I'm correct, right?
Yep.
Okay. So that's double the output from last season in wins.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just focus on taking the North and let's see what happens from there. Bears, Packers. I didn't get into the defense. Got to talk about them. Tremaine Edmonds. Okay. TJ Edwards. Okay. Two new additions. The the front four. I think Justin Jones is the only returning guy off that front four. We can't figure out how to, for the life of us, how Dominique Robinson made this team. And I mean, that's a
And now
Ryan Poles
Gibson.
experiment. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a Ryan Poles experiment. Okay, I get it. Okay, so Ryan, he's got to help you take the North. Okay, he's got to contribute to taking the North. Bottom line, let's just take the North, and it starts now. It starts this weekend at Soldier Field.
325.
Okay, got to stop the run, man. They were bad against the run last week. I mean, last year. I think the bright spot on this team is the secondary. Some talented guys in the secondary. Brisker, Gordon, the vet, the veterans, safety, Eddie Jackson,
Jalen
and
Johnson.
Jalen Johnson in the contract year. We need to see Jalen get a few more turnovers because he want to get paid. So I think he has to be better. He has to be healthy. Health, but that's the strength of this defense as of right now. Last year's walk on unsigned, undrafted rookie free agent. What's my man name? The linebacker.
Jack
He
Sanborn.
Jack Sanborn. Remember when we talked about exhibition season and we talked about who was going to be the
The
Jack
Jackson,
Sanborn
yeah,
of land?
yeah.
It was agent. It was the Bajent man, Tyson Bajent this year with the
Yep.
quarterback.
Bags.
So yeah, it was bad. So they answered those questions in exhibition. The number one goal was of exhibition season for the Bears, I believe it was to be healthy. And I think they suffered a few injuries. When you talk about Tevin Jenkins, I mean, gotta pray for Tevin. Tevin just having a hard time staying on the field. But when he was on the field, he was doing all right. Larry Bourne showed some improvement. Lucas Patrick will be the center, former Packer. So him being familiar with that system with Luke Getsy, he's going to be the starting center. And since we talking about that, the depth chart for the quarterbacks goes as this: is of course Jalen Justin's going to be the starter, and then Nathan Peterman is going to be the second string guy, and then Tyson Bagent is going to be the emergency quarterback. So this stuff was updated today by Coach Eberflus, and that's the order in which the quarterbacks will be depth on the depth chart. Um, so that's that. A lot of people wanted to see Tyson Bagent at the
At the two.
backup position, but we don't even want to see Nathan Peterson or Tyson Bagent. We want to see
Exactly.
Justin Fields doing this thing. So I just wanted to bring that up for some people that may not know what that depth chart looked like at that quarterback position. So Tyson Bagent is the emergency quarterback this week, um, but it's very vanilla, and you're going to hear week after week when you talk about me when you're asking me about formula for winning. Run the football, balanced attack. DJ Moore is going to have his opportunities. I believe Mooney's going to have his opportunities. Cole Komet, and I hope like hell Chase Claypool can make an impact on this team because he's so big and he's so imposing. You just hate to have a guy so physically and athletically gifted and don't get anything out of him. I'm really rooting for Claypool to have a good season. I want to see the brother get paid because we got to have some camaraderie and we got to have a nucleus. When you talk about taking this division, we got to build the nucleus to the point where we can just, with all those draft picks that they got, you don't want to have to be reaching. You know what I'm saying? You want to,
Right. You want to
go
know who
to
your
a,
core guys are. Yeah.
yeah, go to a strength of go to a need, go to something you need as opposed to just something you want. And that's just a can't miss guy. So I'm rooting for those guys: Chase Claypool, Edwards. I mean DJ Moore. DJ Moore showed us on the very first, second, third player of the exhibition
Yeah. What time it
what
was? Yeah.
yeah what he could be for this team. And a lot of people say he did a lot of his damage in this league with a lot of bad quarterback play.
Yeah.
One of which that we had to cut. And I
TJ
thought
Watt.
about that too, man. Damn, I thought about that just last night as I was watching the game between the Chiefs and the Lions. I was like, damn, well we just we gave away 2 million to PJ Walker, and I think PJ ended up landing with the Browns. Okay, so that's an update that you may not know. PJ Walker's with the Browns. Okay, so we gave him 2 million. I don't know what the contract breakdown was with David Montgomery, but I'm like, damn, that's 2 more million they could have got David. That's all I could think about. That's all I could think about. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, it's Bears Packers week. It's bigger than what they. I don't want to hear this. It's just another game because to us it's not. I mean, you look at. I mean, I got on my divisional shirt, so
I see you with
um,
the divisional on.
yeah, I'm gonna be wearing my division. I'm gonna wear Bears gear on division weeks. So when we playing the Packers, Lions, Vikings, look for the bear. I got this thing in all three colors. Just to let you guys know, I got this thing in all three colors. So I think the Bears will be winning the blue this week against the Packers. Uh, kind of some predictions, and then we can kind of, unless you want to touch on, we can we could go around the league and make some predictions. But with this, I'm gonna go with the Bears based on what I seen last night. I'm gonna take the Bears 24-16 Bears over the Packers. What you got?
I was going 21-17 Bears.
So we kind of
Yeah, we in the
average
same.
scoring.
Yeah, yeah.
Average scoring. I think it's gonna take a while. It's gonna be electric at Soldier Field. 3:25 start. It's gonna be electric. The atmosphere is gonna be. I think it's gonna be much bigger for Jordan Love than it is for Justin, because Justin's been in this game a few times, and Justin has the benefit of being at home. You know, and then
Right.
you add to the fact that Justin's played for the national championship.
And
Okay.
and Justin was
Uh.
usually getting these games at home late in the season when it was cold. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
interesting to see with some nice weather,
Yeah.
how that
Yeah.
affects things.
So that's what did I say? 24-17, 24-16 Bears, something
Twenty-four
like that.
sixteen, yeah, and I went twenty-one
So
seventeen. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that score. I feel pretty good about it because uh I think it's gonna be a lot to live up to for Jordan Love as well. But I think the defense is gonna be effective. I think when we leave from this game, I think we're gonna be talking more about how good the defense is. The defensive secondary, I might add. Yannick Ngakwe, didn't mention his name. He get a chance to run around the yard and chase Jordan Love around. Kenny Clark from the Packers. Let's see he don't. Let's make sure he don't
Wreck the game.
put Justin on his back too many times.
Yeah.
Just to name a few defensive players. But and we can let's move around the league. Some of the more interesting games before we wrap up. Uh, I think we spoke earlier. What game was you talking about? Would appear to be more interesting to you?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the scale. I know Bengals Browns. I didn't get the latest on if Burrow was in or out for that game.
Hmm.
I know we
Got
got.
that new contract too. Burrow
I'm
just got that new deal last night.
got paid.
Yeah,
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 got
gonna be
paid.
making. I guess it's reported 55 million a year. You know that.
Well,
You know what? How do you think that made Patrick Mahomes feel just before kickoff?
I'm sure. I'm sure Pat knew that was coming down the pipeline because every year these quarterbacks they resetting the market. So I knew when he signed his deal. What was that? 2 years ago when he got that 500 million.
Yeah,
Uh,
for 10 years,
yeah,
10-year deal, man.
on
But
top of the two he had left, so it was actually a little bit more than that. But I'm sure he knew when Burrow and Allen and them guys came up that they was probably gonna reset the market and have a higher annual salary than he did. So, but
mhm.
no, I'm interested for Bills and Jets on Monday Night Football. Um, I'm kind of glad it's just the one game because I don't like when they do the double header on Monday Night Football. I feel like they're splitting
Yeah,
up
me too.
too
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
So I'm interested for that. I've been watching Hard Knocks. So I'm interested to see how the Jets come together when it's really game time. Um, Sunday Night Football, we got quote unquote America's team. We got the Cowboys and the Giants. So we know Daniel Jones just got paid. It'll be interesting to see if Dak can play a clean game because I know he's got the turnover bug, and I know that talk is in his head. So interesting to see that. I'm interested to see how Russell Wilson looked with Sean Payton, especially after that comment came out with Sean Payton saying Russell Wilson need to worry less about kissing babies and worry about playing football. So
hey, my sentiments exactly.
you
That's
called
why I
it
didn't want.
3 years
That's
ago,
why.
didn't you?
That's why I didn't want him in Chicago.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't want him in Chicago because uh, we had our high profile relationship quarterback, and that was enough for me. I mean, we got to win some football games before we get to talk about anything outside of the football team. I didn't want Russell and Sierra in Chicago. I just didn't want it for that reason. I just see. I think it would have been a distraction. So yeah, but uh, Broncos, Raiders,
Mhm.
um, that Cincinnati Cleveland game, Watson missing most of the season last year with the suspension, getting a chance to get the Browns off to a fresh start. So I'm gonna go with if I don't know if Burrow's playing or not, I'm gonna go with the Browns in that game. Then I'm gonna move around a little bit and start making some predictions. You got the Panthers going into Atlanta to play the Falcons. I'm gonna take the Falcons in that game. Uh, uh, uh Bryce
Interested to
Young.
see how Bryce does. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to see Bryce Young and Bijan Robinson playing for the Falcons. Then you got the Texans and the Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens. I think I picked the Browns against the Bengals. I'm gonna take the Jaguars over the Colts. The Colts out of limbo. A lot of people don't expect the Vikings to repeat the season he had last season,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna pick them to beat the Buccaneers this week. Saints Titans. I'm gonna go with the Titans on that one. Uh, Steelers
That game in
Niners.
in New Orleans though, I would actually go with the Saints on that.
With Saints and Titans.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Titans. I'm gonna go with the Titans because Cordell here not what's my man name?
Derrick
Henry.
Henry. Yeah.
Derrick Henry. They got stability at those positions, at the quarterback position and him. I just think he's gonna be a load to handle week one. He's coming, he's gotta be fresh. So I'm looking for him to have a big game. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Titans. Steelers, 49ers going to
That should be
Pittsburgh.
a good game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Steelers on that one because I don't think the Niners got their quarterback position solved. I really don't. I mean, I think Brock Purdy gets a little bit too much credit for the success of their team. So much talent around him, and their defense was so good. Nick Bosa gonna be playing in that game. He just got a new contract, so Nick Bosa. I'm gonna go with the Steelers against uh, against the Niners. And then we got the Cardinals going up against the Commanders. I'm gonna go with the Commanders and Eric Bieniemy putting up some points against the Cardinals because everybody want to say the Cardinals are tanking, and we know Kyler Murray isn't playing. He's I think he's on injury reserve.
Yeah.
You touched in on Raiders Broncos, and like you said, it's gonna be interesting. Uh wow, that game's in Denver, so I'm gonna go with the Broncos to win that game.
Yeah, I'm
I'm gonna go
taking
with
it.
the Broncos.
Me too. I'm taking the Broncos.
And you got the Dolphins going into Los Angeles to play the Chargers. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I'm gonna pick I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm taking the Patriots to beat the Eagles.
Ooh. You
That's
believe in
my
Belichick.
upset.
Yeah, that's
That's
that's the
my
upset. Yeah.
that's my upset of the week. I'm gonna take the Patriots to beat the Eagles. Take Seahawks over the Rams. The Rams are in disarray right now. Uh, Cowboys Giants. It's a tough one.
I'm gonna take the boys on that.
All right, we're gonna take them in prime time, NBC Sunday Night Football, and then the Monday night game to finish off Week One, Bills and Jets. So that means that game's in New York.
Gotham City.
Thinking that game's in New York. So uh, I'm gonna take the Jets. I'm gonna take the Jets. Close game though. It's gonna be a close game. I'm gonna take the Jets. Um, in closing. Before we wrap up, I'm gonna get you off because you got to hit that midnight oil tonight, and
Yeah.
I have the privilege of not having to do so myself. But before we close up tonight, we probably been on about 5 minutes more than we want to. Uh, couple college games. I know you're looking forward to UNLV, Michigan, in that 2:30 slot Central Time.
Yeah. Yeah.
See the running rebels
I'm
going
just
to
I'm just happy this week they don't play at the same time as Coach Prime because I had to watch them on Peacock and I had Coach Prime on the iPad last week, so now I can
yeah
devote all my attention to Coach Prime at Big
yeah,
Noon,
and
and
then
then
you also had a wedding to attend, I
Yeah,
think.
it was a lot
So
going on.
a
Yeah.
lot going on last week, and then Link, he add his special sauce to every day. So I know he did some special, some out of the ordinary last Saturday. So Coach Prime and interesting thing about that, they're playing in the big noon game again, but it's gonna be like a 10 o'clock start
In
in Boulder.
Colorado.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of wild, man. It's kind of wild. The whole Dion conversation, that's a whole show.
By itself.
That
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole show. We're gonna get into it because one day we're gonna have to pick a time out to get into it. So that's gonna be a big one. Then for me, it's Texas and Alabama. I think I mentioned last week that was a big game. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I got an eventful day myself tomorrow, so I'm gonna be moving around quite a bit, struggling to watch some of these football games. But by the time Michigan and UNLV play, I want to be settled in. Then I might have to do a little bit of running around. And then by the time Alabama and Texas kick off, I want to be comfortable and ready to watch some more college football. Then get me ready and set for Sunday. Um, but before we go off the air tonight, as we speak, that's a segment. As we speak, and what do I say this? This is because I want to take a look at what's going on in college football as we speak right now. So,
I think Illinois playing somebody right now.
yeah, so let me see here. I know Illinois, I know Indiana is playing Indiana State in Bloomington. Uh let me see here what we got. Indiana's up 24-7 against the Sycamores in Bloomington at halftime. Uh Kansas.
Eh,
Wow.
on
Wow.
Illinois, right? Yeah.
Kansas up 21-0 on Illinois as we speak. So, uh, two of the more major football programs, Illinois, Kansas, and then Indiana going against Indiana State. Indiana going down to Ohio State last week. So, with Indiana State coming in, an in-state rival game, I know they were ready and prepared because the Buckeyes put them up on game. So they look like they dominate the Sycamores tonight. And for all those mid majors, you probably didn't even know Davidson had a football team, but
Did not. Did not.
uh, Steph Curry's boys, the Davidson Wildcats, I think they are. Davidson's losing to Barton. I don't know what the hell that is. Barton is up on Davidson 27-21. And last but not least, Stony Brook and Rhode Island. Rhode Island over Stony Brook 28-7. Two basketball schools going at
Yeah, I ain't heard of
it.
Rhode Island since Lamar
Yeah,
Odom was there.
yeah. So two basketball schools. We know about Stony Brook and Rhode Island based on basketball and being able to make some noise and get into an NCAA tournament every now and then. So that's the action for the night as we speak. Watch the game, enjoy the weekend, enjoy your football, enjoy the US Open still going on. If that's what you
Uh,
do,
did it wrap? It might be still going on. I don't know.
yeah.
Hey,
So
yeah.
enjoy whatever game you watching. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Baseball, the Cubs on the slump. Your
Sox
Yankees.
playing. Those
Yeah,
get they
yeah.
out of it. You see, I got my
So,
hat on backwards. I ain't even
yeah.
repping for them today.
So, so wherever you at, watch the game and be prepared to wrap up in the night, and be prepared to check us out again as we recap Week 1 of Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers, and then we're gonna do a better job of recapping the rest of the league. So, watch the game. Thank you for StreamYard for not chopping us up tonight.
Oh yeah,
I
they
didn't
did us
forget
dirty.
you.
Yeah,
They
they
did
did
us
us
bad
dirty.
the other night. We're
Yeah.
just trying to get it in and trying to get it up. Subscribe to the channel. Watch the game. WTG podcast as of right now. If you can find us, we're gonna make them changes so you can watch the game. Pen, get some sleep. I'm about to watch the Sycamores and the Hoosiers in the second half.
We out.